I'm kidding.
So when we sat down to discuss, like, it's the 10th year of Mouse Guard, what is the best way we can represent and chronicle and celebrate 10 years of Mouse Guard? And David came back and he said, I'd like to do an art book. So coming in July, we are debuting The Art of Mouse Guard, 2005 to 2015. This is a huge book. It is 12 inches by 12 inches. Those of you who are familiar with the Mouse Guard black and whites that we did for fall and winter, it's that size. So it's like a foot by a foot. And it's got over 350 pages of content. And I believe the price point...
How many pages did you say?
350.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 250. I was going to say, it's 365. It's a long way from 250, but you got it right. Yeah.
So what we did was, when Rebecca was still with Archaea...
Before she left mice for bats, penguins, and robins.
We had her fly out to where David lives in Michigan, and I'll let you tell the story.
I don't actually live at a hibachi grill, by the way. But we went out for dinner. So Tay came out and spent 3 days total, and I just kind of gave her carte blanche access to all of my flat files, filing cabinets, folders full of stuff. And I've been saving things that are in some way related to Mouse Guard since 1992. So this art book has material that goes back that far. It'll have crayon drawings that I did on the back of restaurant restaurant placemats, stuff in pencil, stuff from high school, color pencil, marker work, that all kind of leads into and evolves to the magic date of 1996 when I first drew Saxon Kenzie and Leo, or Saxon Kenzie and Rand. And then the dates that we're kind of celebrating as being the 10-year, the 2005 through now 2015. 2005 is when I self-published the first issue. So it has stuff all the way through all of that. It has process shots. It has full color pages without the lettering, printed at 12 by 12, so that's the first time you'll ever be able to see it in color that big. Lots of photos and turnarounds of the various models that I use. Yeah, there's some embarrassingly old artwork. That was high school era stuff back long before it was Mouse Guard, when it was still more like Disney's Robin Hood, and it was called 1149. There's the said placemat drawing. The saves were because I liked those. Those were designs I want to keep. And then getting in more towards where I was trying to decide how I would draw Mouse Guard, if I was going to do it as a prose novel, maybe with spot illustrations or something like that. And then ultimately stuff that starts to look like what we know of as Mouse Guard. But lots and lots and lots of...
It was, putting together the book was a labor of love for everyone involved, at least from our end. Because, it is everything Mouse Guard of the last 10 years, and you can really see, obviously, from this, David's process, and the process that the story has taken, that his art style has taken, and I think as fans, both the designer, Scott Newman, who's designed the book, Tay and myself, as fans of David, we would see these pages that she'd uncover, and she was texting me all the photos of what she was finding, and we're just geeking out over all this material that he saved. And as fans, it was like, oh, thank goodness that he saved this stuff. And we, there were some pieces that David wouldn't want to put in. Oh, no one wants to see that. It's a terrible piece. No, you have to put it in. It's amazing. And throughout, along with the art, David is commenting on, story choices and how his process changed over the years. And it's just an all-encompassing view of what Mouse Guard is, what it has been, and ultimately, I think, where it's going.
Especially by the end, because we kind of a nightmare 2-week cramming session of, it was, every couple hours there was a new version of the file, of the 368-page file up on an FTP for me to pull down and start making notes on, and corrections, and I'd get Cam on the phone and we'd talk about swapping pages, or swapping, this old scan for that old scan or whatever. And like Cam said, there was a lot of stuff I didn't want to put in, that it was embarrassing and cringeworthy, and handwritten notes with just egregious spelling errors. And it's like, you don't really want to celebrate your 10-year anniversary. You don't want to prove how much of an idiot you've been, and how untalented you were. By the time one of the last things was I had to write the afterword for the book. And it was after kind of reviewing all these multiple versions that I realized the unwritten theme of the book is evolution. This is a book that shows stuff that I was drawing when I was 14 years old in high school, and now I'm 37. This is about evolution. This is about evolution of process. Mouse Guard is the first comic I ever drew. When I drew that first issue, I had maybe drawn, as practice, 8 or 9 pages of something in a row. I had never finished an issue of anything. I finished the first issue of Mouse Guard and then just immediately jumped into it being published by Archaea and having to get issue 2 through 6 out because the hardcover was going to be due. So I got a lot of on-the-job training, which means that each volume that I did, my process changed. So we tried to also document as much of that in the art book as possible.
And one thing that David is well known for is that he builds...
I build paper models as a sign of my sanity. Or lack thereof. I got in the habit after, I did a few in fall, but somewhere in the middle of winter there, I started realizing that they were so valuable to me. I avoided it. I wanted to do it. I felt this craving. I need to build these models. And I thought at the time, I'm doing this because I'm trying to avoid the drawing. I'm finding it's almost like, I could draw that, or I could rearrange these cans over here. I could build this piece of IKEA furniture. I was thinking of it in those terms. It was a distraction. And then after I built a couple that were really useful, that I saw was contributed to being a time savings down the road, I embraced it. And by the time Black Axe came around, the 3rd book in the series, I was building models ahead of time to make sure that I had all my locations done, to make sure that I had all my plans done. I find the model building process a really good way to actually help design. I'm not even really sketching out ideas of what a location looked like. I'm kind of designing it on the fly in 3 dimensions using scraps of paper and scraps of chipboard and mat board and cardboard and stuff. So,
and in the book you'll see, there are spreads where we'll have a photo of the model and from every angle, so you're seeing all the little details and all the little nooks and crannies. And then you'll see his original sketches, inks, and then the final piece from the book. So you can really get a sense of how they translate to the finished page. And it's crazy how accurate those models are to what eventually appears in the book.
So there you have it. Out in July, the Art of Mouse Guard 2005 to 2015 from Archaea. Do we know what the price is yet?
$60.
$60. That's a pretty good deal for 368-page, 12 by 12 hardcover.
Yeah.
It's a great gift for someone who's a Mouse Guard fan, or it's a nice collectible. But yeah.
It's a big book that can be used as a weapon. So it's both an art book and a weapon. $60. That's a deal.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the